Another Monday in the briefing room. Roll it. All right, let's see how it went.
Our special guest today is our director of the National Economic Council, Brian Deese.
I wanted to just provide a little bit of context around, in particular, capital gains taxes. This change will affect taxpayers making more than $1 million a year. So for the other 997 out of 1,000 households in the country, or the other 150 million households in the country.
See what they do
this
there?
is not a change that will be relevant. It's always so much easier for me to play good cop. Now I realize why. I take all your questions, but
Okay, come on back. And congratulations, and not to embarrass you, got married.
I did, yes.
Well, congratulations, welcome back.
Thank you, Jen. First, Vice President Harris says that she's not gone to the border yet because we have to deal with COVID issues. What is she referring to?
Well, I would certainly have to ask her team about that specifically, but I would tell you also that her focus is not on the border, it's on addressing the root causes in the Northern Triangle. And she's working with them to ensure there are systems put in place to reduce the amount of migration coming from these countries.
Is there a White House concern when you guys are planning presidential or vice presidential travel, but more about COVID at the border?
We certainly know that the number of people who are in facilities, the reason we have been so focused on expediting moving kids out of these Border Patrol facilities is because we want to reduce the public health impact. And we've made some progress on that front, even over the last few weeks since you got married, I will say.
There was a report in the last couple of days in the New York Post that every migrant child being brought to a shelter is being given a copy of her children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere. Do you know why that is and if she is making any money off of that?
I'd have to check with our Health and Human Services team if you're talking about if they go to shelters or if they go to...
Yeah, in the welcome kit, apparently, there's a copy of her 2019 children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere.
I'd have to certainly check on that. Here, it's a good book. But the bottom line is the president's not going to raise taxes on people making less than $400. That would be like nobody pays taxes, but $400,000, and that can then be used. The same approaches apply to all of these challenges. So obviously we target, we take different approaches.
Our latest poll over the weekend showed that the president has a 53% approval rating, which is of course lower than any recent past president, except for President Trump. Just 52% approve of his handling of the economy. Why do you think that is?
Well, first I would say there were a bunch of polls over the weekend. I know you're asking about yours specifically, but there are also some very positive signs about the American public's view of the president's job he's doing. These polls show what we have long known, that the president came into office at one of the most divisive moments in modern American history. And the president's focus is on fulfilling his promise to bring the country together. That is what they will tell you. I know reporters, all of you and your colleagues who are reporting, as I've said before, I'm blissfully not in the mind of Vladimir Putin. Our efforts are to increase confidence, I should say, across a range of communities where we've seen some concern or some question.
Iran's foreign minister says that former Secretary of State John Kerry informed him that Israel attacked Iranian interests at least 200 times.
We're not going to comment on leaked tapes. The president believes he's got to govern for all people, and that includes, of course, getting the pandemic under control, which is certainly not impacting people through a political prism.
People must leave the briefing room every day really they must leave very tired, because I struggle. It takes a lot of energy to even focus on when we play Crazy Town, to focus on the and focus and I feel tired at the end of them. I have to focus so hard. God, that's brutal.